Okay, we gotta start this over again. Yeah. Okay, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Dells. This is who this is not. I'm not Godsent. You see that right there? I'm not Godsent. I'm sorry, y'all, but Godsent is on some business real quick. He's gonna be back. I definitely see our guest in the studio backstage. The beautiful treasure is in the building. Okay. I am Wardell. Okay, I'm not Godsent. Like I said, Godsent had to handle some business, but he will be here. Okay, he hoodwinked me. He bamboozled me. Okay, got me to do this. I have my own thing I'm doing at 7 o'clock, but it's okay. This is my brother, and this is how we do. You know what I mean? We stand up for one another. We stand in the gap for one another. Okay, so again, I have the beautiful Treasure Boyd backstage. I'm about to bring her in. But welcome to Into the Lyrics, y'all. I guess I'm a temporary guest host. All right, for the real Godsent. Okay, and we're gonna have some fun tonight. Okay, Godsent's gonna come in shortly, but in the meantime, I'm gonna bring Treasure Boyd in. Okay, and we're gonna put our hands together for Miss Treasure Boyd. And I was saying Boyd. I had it wrong.
Pronouncing it all wrong.
Just tearing up the girl name. Okay, it's Treasure Boyd, y'all. Sorry, I'm special. She's not. Well, she's special. She's special, but you know. So how you been, Treasure?
I've been good. I've been good, healthy, which is a crazy thing in this time right now to say, but I've been really healthy. I'm grateful.
Good. That's what we got to do. We got to stay healthy, okay? Because we don't want none of the Rona, okay?
No.
I don't know what somebody did to her, but she need to go back from when she came, okay?
She just wants to linger.
She wants to linger. She came back to get somebody, baby mother, or baby father, or something. I don't know what her problem is, but she needs to go back, okay? From when she came.
Go back from when she came.
I'm trying to tell you. It's great to see you, Treasure. I haven't seen you in a long time.
I know. I miss you. I miss you. I miss cutting up with you. It's gonna be so different once we see each other again. But I can't wait for that. You know, I still can't wait for that. I'm ready to adjust to whatever, live performances and shows are, to be very honest with you.
Absolutely. Yeah, I know this must be kind of different for you to get on here and right?
Yes, most definitely. I fought it for so long. Like I was like, I'm not doing anybody's virtual anything. Like I'm not performing. I'm not talking to anybody. But when it's your brother, I send his family, your family. So when you about family, you kind of say yes, and you realize you're fighting it because you're not used to it, and you don't want to get used to something like that. That's what I'm telling you. It's okay. I'm telling people rather, it's okay to not want to get used to, living this way.
Right. Right.
And we won't. I have immense faith. Because faith without works is dead. So I have immense faith.
Amen.
That we will get back to some type of union, because you can't kill human interaction. You can't do it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You can adjust to it. We will. We'll have to, do things very slow, but we're not gonna not do it again.
So, like I said, because you are a natural. You're naturally born for the stage. You were raised in on the stage, and this must be a little different for you. Like I said, but see, you're a creative too. So creatives are able to adjust. That's why they're creatives, because they're able to adjust. And so.
And we find other ways, like I used to be a counselor, and I started to pick that back up and started to talk to people who are really struggling, like artists who their livelihoods were, I'm just a painter, and I was selling my work, and I was able to go outside, and a lot of stuff for the summer is canceled.
Right.
So you can't do these festivals and sell your work, or you can't make the same money the way you used to. So it's been just talking to people, to be honest, talking to artists and telling them how much you relate to what they're going through. Like I know I work a 9 to 5, and there's a lot of artists that do. But that's just to supplement our 5 to 9, that's because to make sure that whatever we do creatively is always, moving and staying creative. So, just, being a voice for people, and making sure that they're okay mentally. That's one of my biggest things, being an advocate mentally for a lot of artists.
Wow. That's good. And I think it's heavily needed too, because, there is a struggle now with, what's going on and the impact it's made on the yes, the creative society, but more specifically the poetry world. Like, we're used to, well, not we, because I'm not a poet. Okay, I can't. I don't even know how to drop "Rose are red, roses are blue." Right. Okay, I'll be stuttering and stumbling all over the words, but poets, in more specifically, you guys are used to doing things and being out and performing and making people smile, making people laugh, making people cry, make people want to punch you in your face. But
Right.
listen, some people's poems hit so hard in the chest that you want to punch them in the face. Okay, right?
Listen, I've had people not talk to me after a poem because it's like, no, I'm gonna need a minute away from you because I don't know why you thought you could attack me that hard or come in my life that hard.
Right.
So, and sometimes it's stuff we haven't even talked about, but because you talk about it, your friends are like, well, how did you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, how did you like get into my head? Because I was just thinking about that today. And you're like, well, it wasn't me.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Mm-hmm. It wasn't me. That was the creative spirit in me. Okay,
most
that put that out. That put that out. Well, that's wonderful, Treasure. I really appreciate you because we haven't known each other for a long, long time, but I've known you to be very genuine and to be very what you speak about over the mic is real. It's not a
yes.
facade. It's not fake. You know what I mean? It's who you are and what you allow to be put into the atmosphere. And I've always enjoyed your pieces. I get excited when I hear your name. You be called on the mic that she's next. Okay, Treasure's about. Let me come out the kitchen. Okay, let me come across the street from the Chinese restaurant. Hurry up. Let me get back. Treasure's gonna be up. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I respect you. I appreciate you, Treasure, and I think you are a treasure, really,
Thank you.
to the poet world. You know what I mean? Especially to the Crowd Cave. We love you to death, and we definitely got your back.
Always,
So,
always.
okay.
That goes both ways.
Oh yeah, we already know that. Okay, we
Yes.
already know it. You don't work in the kitchen. You don't work the door. Okay,
Listen,
you don't work the
everything I
bar.
gotta do, we're gonna keep
I'm
them
saying
doors open.
you done donated pastries.
Listen.
So what's good with that? What's good with the pastries?
So, Trey's Golden Confections is not dead. It's
Wait a minute. Say it again. What's it called?
Trey's Golden Confections.
There you go.
You can find that on Instagram. It is not dead. We are doing a rebrand. We are doing a lot of things. I'm adding a lot of different stuff to the menu because I'm talking to a lot of people that are also bakers and artists. My thing is creating art through food. So I'm definitely coming back a lot stronger. Actually, in another 2 weeks. That's going to be a huge update on Trey's Golden Confections.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Trey's Golden is Trey.
TREYS Golden Confections.
Golden.
And on Facebook, it's Treasure Golden Confections.
Okay. So Trey's Golden Confections. Okay. Yeah, that's not me, but that's y'all can find her on Instagram. Okay, you can find her on Facebook. All right, get at her. Okay, that's not the right one either. We're gonna hide that. Okay, but yeah. So Trey's Golden Confections. What is it on Instagram? Tell us again.
Trey's Golden Confections, TREYS Golden Confections, and on Facebook it's Treasure Golden Confections.
Okay, and confection is spelled the regular way, right? Because we like
traditional spelling. Yep.
We like to put X's and all other kind of hyphenated underscores and things like that.
We're gonna keep it real easy, even though some people can't spell everything.
Well, yeah, exactly.
We're gonna keep it as simple as possible. Trey's Golden Confections. We do vegan gourmet donuts. That's where our start is. That's what our like crux is, and that's never gonna change. But I can't wait for you to see what we're adding. For our non-vegan people, the vegan people will always be my heart. That's where it started.
Right.
A lot of people don't know the company started because my parents are diabetic.
Oh.
And they didn't have the processed sugars and things like that.
Word.
And I was like, what am I gonna take to Thanksgiving? I didn't want to take the normal stuff, so I took some sweet potato maple bacon donuts actually. Yeah, and because my little brother is a big bacon fan, so I was like, well, let me make the bacon side for him. But I did the sweet potato maple just for my mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
And they loved it. They fell in love with it immediately, and they supported it 110%. Like they support everything I do.
Mm-hmm.
They were really ready. Hey,
Mm-hmm.
Effie. But yeah, they were so ready. They were so like supportive. My mom hooked me up with a lot of the things that I have. So
Mm-hmm.
great. My daughter obsessed with them. So most
Yeah.
definitely, she helped me make some of the ones for the cryo cave too. So
Word. I tasted the Oreo Jones, bruh.
that's everybody's
Bruh.
favorite.
Bruh. I'm
That's
just, and
everybody's favorite.
the only reason why I haven't tasted a whole lot of other stuff, I'm particular in I'm picky. It
Oh, I
doesn't
know.
mean it's not good. Okay, it's all delicious because I've seen everybody look at their fingers. Okay,
Right.
from all of the flavors that she has, they look at their fingers. But mine is the Oreo cookies. Them ones rocking. Okay, if you watching and you ain't tasted Trey's Golden Confections, you need to get on. Okay, but we're
That's a
not here to talk
fact.
about the
That's a
Golden
fact.
Confection. That's just a sidebar. Okay, that's a good sidebar. Okay, because we promotes. Okay, so
Yes. Down.
so what piece did Godsent have you to do? Because I don't have the low overlays for it. Um,
So I'm gonna tell you. I don't know. I don't even know if you might remember the piece. It's actually my most like requested piece, my most popular piece. I tried to retire it a million times, didn't work. It's actually on iTunes and
mm-hmm.
Spotify because by the grace of God, I had an amazing producer named ABP come from all the way from London and do an album with Just Poets from Jersey and New York. And I got the privilege to be on there. And the poem that I just called "Not So Average Girls." The CD is labeled. Well, the CD, Lord have mercy. The album is called "Voices of New York" on iTunes and Spotify. So go check that out. It's on there. But it's called "Not So Average Girls."
So it's Voices of New York.
Yes.
On Spotify
and iTunes.
Okay.
And you can look up just the song "Not So Average Girls" and it should come right up. It's a poem rap. Thank you, Tisha. Appreciate that.
Okay. Yeah, Tisha likes your makeup.
Thank you so much.
Taisha? No, Taisha?
Taisha? Oh, I'm sorry.
Taisha. You done called the girl's name. I'm taking the girl's name today.
You did. You said my name.
Listen, I can't read, okay? Reading is fundamental. Just not to me.
You can read.
Okay. So intro the piece, Treasure. Intro it. Just give me a breakdown of where you were, when you wrote it, what you were thinking, what kind of vibe you were in, what mood you were in, what season in your life you were in.
Got you. It was right after Black Panther, to be very honest with you.
Black Panther?
Yes, the movie. Yes, Wakanda Forever. It was right after that movie. And it was also at a point where I had a good friend doing like comedy skits on Instagram. And he made like a joke about how women are like sports. And he made a reference to like women in football. I can't remember the direct reference right now, but it was women in football. And this is how women are like sports. And it like triggered me somehow, like, you're not going to compare women, to sports. The poem, there's a line in the poem that says, well, the first few stanzas go, not so average girls break through rib cages every day. Or you thought your heart was safe because you played a good game of high energy and ill intention and thought you wouldn't see right through it. So that whole good game portion of, high energy but had ill intentions at the same time and thought the person wouldn't see straight through it. That came from him. And just me that was my little retort back to, you're not going to compare women to sports because, we see right through every play. So that was just my little hunch. And it's funny because when I performed the poem, I wrote it, and then I didn't perform it for like 2 months because I wasn't performing it. I just wrote the poem.
Right.
I performed it 2 months later, and he was there. He came to support, and before I recited the poem, I was like, "This one for you." So you want to compare women to sports, but no, Black Panther that comes in with the line that says, just last week we were trying to convince the world that we were actually royal. And that just comes from all the negative and like the not so nice things we say to ourselves or how we treat ourselves as Black people. But at the same time, we want to be validated in a positive light, but we gotta treat ourselves that way. That type of thing.
That's good stuff. So what? So that I guess you were. Is it Did his piece bother you?
No, I mean I got the humor from it,
Mm-mm.
but as someone who's had a lot of like sexually traumatic things and just traumatic things in general happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
It was a trigger, but not in a negative space where I was like completely bothered by it and I was annoyed.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh, I'm gonna turn this into a project,
Right.
like because I'm not gonna. I laughed at it. Even comments like, oh, this is hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
But I said my way of like healing and getting through a lot is writing, and
Okay.
like every poet on here can probably sympathize with me. There's stuff that you'll never repeat, but you wrote it down. There's poems that you only recite
Mm-hmm.
once and never recite again, but it's just to get it out.
Mm-hmm.
There's poems like this one that I cannot get away from. I
Yeah.
tried, and they still ask me for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, that's
But
what's
there
up.
was a point in my life where I was very scared to be a
Mm-hmm.
poet.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think I was good enough. I didn't think people would want to hear me.
Oh
I
wow.
didn't think I was talented enough.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you to Balt Rashard, my friends who actually hosted a show for me in April of, I believe, 2018.
Mm-hmm.
And they centered it around me because they said, you're going to get out and you're going to perform. He gave me 2 months to have material, to write some poems, and you're going to perform them because you're wasting your talent.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. And here you are.
Here I am.
A poet, and you know it.
Now I do.
You see them bars? You see them bars? You see them bars? You think I'm ready for the stage? Nope.
Yes, you are.
No. So, okay. So, are you going to... Oh, you know what? I see my boy backstage, Godsent, is in the building.
Hey!
Do we want to bring him on or no? Do we want to bring him on?
We can.
I mean, we can. You know what I mean?
We're having a good time, but we can bring him out.
We having a good time. Just, we going to let him on. This is his show. Okay? We going to let him on.
Because you're not Godsent. That's what it says.
I'm not God. That's what it says right there. Okay? I tell the truth. I keep it 100. Okay? So y'all put your hands together for my boy, my brother, real Godsent.
Hey.
Yeah.
In the car with it.
Negro, keep your hands on the wheel, bro. He talking about clap, clap, clap. Yeah. Keep your hands on the wheel before you be a no cent. Or we be
what's going on, bro? What's going on, Treasure?
What's up? What's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm good, man. Yo, Wardell, thank you, bro. Oh, I'm sorry, not Godsent. Thank you.
That's my name, not Godsent.
As you can see, I have to apologize. I actually had a client block me at the hall, and this is tough time. So we have to sit down and have a conversation about business and what's going to happen with the deposit and all of that stuff unexpectedly. So I'm still on my way home, but I know Wardell got a show at 7:00. I'll definitely be there. Did you perform the poem yet?
Nah.
Good, because I wanted to make sure I hear it live, so that's dope. That's dope. But Wardell, you still got the show. I'm just here driving home, and I'm about to be home in a little bit. I'm gonna take over once I get in.
All right. Well, you got 8 minutes. Okay. And counting.
I'm like 3 minutes away.
I'm
Shout
kidding,
out to everybody watching right now, showing love and all that.
Take your time.
I can't see y'all, but thank you.
Wait, Wardell, you getting the comments? I can't see nothing here.
No, I see the comments.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, I can see the comments. Treasure, you can't see Godsent?
I can see him. I can see him perfectly fine.
Oh, you said you can't see us like in person?
I can't see the comments. I mean, like the people.
Oh, yeah. Nah, we'll put them up on the screen. You can see it. Yeah. So Treasure, tell me the name of the piece again.
Not So Average Girls.
Not So Average Girl. Okay.
And you're not Godsent.
And I'm not Godsent.
And I'm not at home.
And you're not at home. And you're also not the average girl. Okay.
At all. Let him know.
Okay, so Treasure, let's go. Let's do it. Let's do it, man. All right. Come on, wait a minute. Hold on.
Family get you to do stuff.
I'm trying to tell you. Okay, world. This is what this is about to go down. Treasure Borde, okay, repping New Jersey, Newark, Brick City, right? Okay. She is about to drop a hot one on y'all. Okay. It's called Not the Average Girl. Put your hands together for our homegirl Treasure Borde. Boom. Let's go. Let's go.
Not so average girls. Not so average girls break through rib cages every day, B. Oh, you thought your heart was safe because you played a good game of high energy and ill intention and thought you wouldn't see right through it. The mind and the pussy have instant replay. The moment we had sex, you no longer had any say because sex and power do this thing and it gets crazy when everybody in the room thinks that they have it. But we're still out here calling sexually liberated women savage. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to stop fucking for space. Filling gaps and holes with bodies that have already left the game, but see, that comes with the intention that we failed to mention. Like, be easy, but not too easy, and be a bitch, but only where it fits, because niggas ain't shit and bitches ain't loyal, but just last week, we were trying to convince the world that we were actually royal. So I think it's why I ask myself, whatever happens to really good sex, you know, the kind where your souls match and you don't question their truths or their lies. You just know they treat you really, really good. See, I don't break through rib cages anymore. That became a very tedious chore because I put their pleasure before my own. They labeled me whore. But don't get it twisted. I still like really good sex. I just need it to be healing first. So the next time you get the privilege to have really good sex, I need you to be healing first so you can look at it in his face and say, no thanks. Not so average girl. Thank you.
All right.
Whoa. 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 Whoa.
See, I wasn't even supposed to perform. See it? Godsent, I see you. I see what you did there. I see what you did. Nothing.
Ooh. 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 It's okay. You know what, Treasure? It's good because you did a great job.
Did you hear it okay?
Yeah, it was dope.
Oh, we heard it.
Yeah, we heard it. It might have different effects on other people, you know what I mean? But we heard it. Okay. They heard it in the street too. Every set is amazing.
I mean, maybe.
It was amazing.
Thank you.
So, okay. Go ahead, Godsent.
I just want to say, man, that you know, that speaks. Like that poem right there speaks, and I really can't wait to get into the lyrics. There were certain lines that jumped out at me. It sounded like some disappointment, some pain, and then some lessons, some real life lessons which can be passed on. I really want to definitely get into this lyrics. I want to discuss what's behind it. I am about to make this turn and get into my parking lot, and I'll be back on so that we could definitely get that. But for right now, woo! I'm glad that I heard this. I am so glad that I heard this piece. It's a little different from some of your other pieces that I've heard. It seems more personal. Yeah, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good stuff. So, Treasure, the thing is, she said you said Godsent got you because we'd have just been looking at the lyrics on the side of the screen. But
and playing it. But you know what? I'm glad I did it. Because I was so scared. I didn't, I told you in the beginning, like, performing this way for the longest was like the biggest pain to me. I didn't want to do it. I didn't even want to think about doing it. I was supporting everyone else because I was doing the watch videos, I was doing the watch groups and things, and I was just, enjoying it from the outside. Because the biggest fear of performing this way is that you get too accustomed to it, and I never will,
Yeah.
This is family, so we just gonna talk and have a great time. And because it's interesting talking about my work, that was the most important thing to me, to get out the reasoning for this poem and why I wrote it and the process of it. Because when I initially wrote it, it was nothing to me. It didn't have the same impact, I guess, because it's coming from you. But when you let it out into the world, and people come up to you and they're crying and they're telling you what made you put yourself out there so vulnerably, that's a big lesson. It's always a thing when I tell people I still don't understand why people like to hear me, and that's just because I'm myself. This is who I am. But people like to hear that because of that reason, because I am who I am,
right?
Because they see that it comes from a real place, a genuine place. I'm a flawed human being, just like everyone else. But my work is also, a part of that process, a part of that lesson of who I am.
Right, right, right. No, that's good, Treasure. I appreciate that. That poem was short and sweet too. I, I,
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I heard it before. I heard that piece a
Yeah.
couple times, but and I don't know why I thought it was a little longer. Um, but I think we're gonna let Godsent get into the lyrics with you.
Okay.
Um, but in the meantime, in between time, okay. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what is your name on Facebook again? That's
Facebook is Treasure Board. TREAS, the
Treasure
same
Board.
as it is here. That's where you can find me on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
My Instagram is ayotrey AYE_YO_TREY.
Mm. Yeah, and we got that going across the screen. So now listen,
Cool.
guys, if you are watching right now or you're watching the replay, go straight to Instagram. Okay. Don't stop and go. Go straight to Instagram and y'all follow my homegirl, our sister, okay, our niece, all right,
Yep.
Ayo Trey. You have no reason to miss it because it's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Technology is fly, okay? And speaking of technology, Treasure, you said that this might not be you're not gonna get used to this,
Right.
but this might be part of our new world.
I
It
mean,
might be.
I'm not opposed to it. I just it's still very difficult for me
Mm-hmm,
to like I can do this. Like I said, this is my family. This is organic to me. This feels
mm-hmm,
good.
mm-hmm. Right.
But not every space, even virtually, is
Mm-hmm,
gonna feel
mm-hmm.
good or accepting.
Yeah.
So we just have to be wary of that. I also feel there's other ways to help.
Mm-hmm,
Like Godson is doing this because this is something that people never really got to do, which was
mm-hmm,
get into the lyrics of these artists, of these poets, work.
mm-hmm.
So this is like game changing, and
Right.
other game changing things. Evolu Culture, my brand, shout out president of Evolu Culture. We're doing something like that as well, where we're interviewing just artists and getting them out
Mm-hmm,
there. It's called Up Next.
mm-hmm.
So
Oh,
just
dope.
getting people, their names, their faces, and why they do what they do out there. So
Mm-hmm.
there's different ways to do what you do, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I just love to explore that. To be very honest with you,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
but
Well,
I'm
I
I'm
mean,
all, I'm all with it, and I'm gonna support it always. I just can't sugarcoat it for you and tell you that this is like
mm-hmm,
what I
mm-hmm.
love.
Right. Right.
Like
Right. 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 Right.
I get it, but it's just like woo.
Yeah. I'm. You know what? I am not the handsomest thing in the bunch, so I don't like to be on video myself. But I think it's good because
Mm-hmm.
even with what I'm doing, we just waiting for Godson to come on. But what I'm doing, um, is me,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, interjecting some hope into this whole COVID-19 season that we're in, where people are dying and people are depressed and
Mm-hmm.
anxious, and people committing suicide. God forbid.
Right.
So I'm just injecting my own little piece of hope, and I'll do it at whatever cost I have to do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So.
And I mean, you have an amazing talent with just the way you talk to people, just the way you care for people, and whether it's comedy, whether it's you're being dead serious, because you looked me in my eyes and done both. But it's like we need those things. So that's why I'm so
Mhm.
happy about the virtual space because it's so many different ways. You
Yeah.
know, and we will adjust to it and we will get better at it, and technology will get better with us. It's an amazing thing already to
Hmm.
have, but yeah, I'm so excited to see where it goes. To be honest with you,
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where it goes. I'm excited to be a part of the process in any way that I possibly can.
Hmm.
But yeah, my main focus right now is like I told you, is the mental health aspect and just
Hmm.
reaching out to artists that I know, reaching out to people like you said, and getting a hold of them, just privately at first, but then if they want to
Hmm.
speak out about it, more than welcome. But you're
Hmm.
doing excellent work. Like I think everybody that has some type of virtual space is doing
Hmm.
excellent work.
Yeah, well, we're trying. Like I said, I just need to inject some hope into people, and some life into people. That's all.
They need to.
What is your cash app? 'Cause I'm gonna pay you for
Oh,
what you said.
it's my name. So money sign treasure board.
I'm gonna have to pay you for what you said about the nice things you said about me. I'm gonna have to shoot you a cash
Those
app.
things are expensive. My daughter still gotta go. I mean, virtual school, but they Catholic school. They want their money.
Hmm. No, you ain't lying.
No,
I
they
grew up in
want their
Catholic
money.
school. I grew up in Catholic school. You don't be late with the tuition. Okay.
No, the stuff we had to buy, the scanners and different things for the computers that we've had to purchase. Thank God for my parents. Shout out to my parents.
Oh yeah.
Amazing people, because I'm working and I actually self-quarantined away from my family for at least a month and a half, almost 2 months, and that was so hard because my daughter is with my family. Again, because of the quarantining, because of the issue, I didn't want to, because I'm outside. I'm going to my place of work, every day. At that point, it was still every day. So I didn't want to put them, in any, danger. As I told you, my parents are diabetic.
Right.
My uncles and my great aunt are in the home as well. So I didn't want to do that. But, I was FaceTiming, calling my daughter every day. And, I had my bouts of, depression, anxiety, because I couldn't see my baby. I couldn't touch her or hug her. I had anxiety if I had to get my mail from over there, She can't touch my packages. I have to physically go in and get everything. So it got really, it does get dark, especially for parents, especially for people. Yeah. Just because you're still working doesn't mean, you don't have the right to feel, something.
Absolutely. Yeah, this is true. Well, that's good that you said that, because we definitely need to make people aware that this is Mental Health Awareness Month.
Yes, it is.
And so if you don't typically, I see you backstage, Godsent. I got you. If you don't typically, hold on, bro. Hold on. If you don't typically delve into what we call mental health awareness, you should do that this month. You should make it your business to delve into being aware of what mental health is, what it's not, especially in our culture. We need to really know what it is, and we really need to break a stigma. Okay?
Exactly. So it's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
To be a man and cry. It's okay to be a man and talk to another man or a woman about what you're dealing with. It's okay. Like, no one's gonna look at you crazy. If they do, they're not who you think they are for you.
So Godsent is back. I think I'm going to take you back off, bro, and let you come in on the other end. Whoa. So I'm going to put you back on. Okay. It's him, bro. It's him. It's his fault. So Treasure, I am going to tiptoe out because I have to do something. It's a pleasure talking to you. I miss you. And if I was seeing you right now, you get a big hug, because that's what I do. Okay. So, but we're gonna get back to that one day.
Definitely.
Well, I'm gonna put you into the hands of the real host, okay?
The
real Godsent, okay? Who is going to take us all into the lyrics. All right, y'all? It was a pleasure being a guest host, and I'm out. Deuces.
Yo, thank you, bro. Shout out to Wardell. Thank you for holding it down. It's always good to have brothers who hold. I called Treasure, and I was about to tell Treasure, like, yo, we might have to cancel or push the show back. But thank God that I was able to call my bro, and he was like, yo, I got you. I'll hold you down. So shout out, big claps and appreciation to Wardell. Man. So I know you guys been waiting for this part. Let's get into the lyrics. I'm not even going to hold it down. Treasure, I see this comments. Taisha say you makeup is pretty, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. I hope some, somebody, y'all think I look good? Is my makeup? I tried.
Always. You look moisturized. You don't look dry.
Let me add a little more light, pretty much, and add a little more light. It's not enough light. But let's get into the lyrics. I'm gonna throw the lyrics up on the screen. So pretty much we start. It says, not so average girls break through rib cages every day, B. Oh, you thought your heart was safe because you played a good game of eye energy and heel intention, and thought she wouldn't see right through it. Let's stop right there.
Okay.
I don't know if Wardell asked this question before we. Do you remember where you were physically and mentally when you started working on this piece or this poem? What brought you to physically, I'm talking about location wise.
Okay.
And then mentally, as in like what's going on. Talk to us.
Okay. So I was physically in my daughter's room. Surprisingly, I used to write there a lot. Just because it was like a peaceful place in my daughter's piece. So it's a peaceful place for me.
In your daughter's room?
In her room, just on the floor.
That's interesting. Wow.
Because she actually has my old room. My dad revamped my entire old room at his house for my daughter. She's spoiled brat. She's a grandpa girl. And I was on her floor. And like I told Wardell, I had a comedian friend. I was watching his Instagram and he was talking about, oh, this is how women are like football. This is how women are like sports. So I'm like, oh, this is cute. This is funny. But like, nah, like you're not going to play us like that. We're not just another play or instant replay. If, it makes any sense. So it was more or less like a challenge to myself. I was writing. I didn't think I was a good enough poet to be out performing. I didn't think I was ready for any of that. And this right after Black Panther came out, and that'll make sense moving down the lyrics. But I was like, oh, let me just write. Let me just, freestyle something. And I don't really write down a lot of stuff. That's why this was even hard for me because I had to write all these lyrics down. I just kind of go through it in my head, like 2 or 3 lines will come to me, and then I'll just start memorizing while I'm in the shower, while I'm doing something, and then a whole poem will just, come alive. But yeah, I was in my daughter's room on the floor, and I was like, oh, let me just freestyle a little bit. And the first line, not so average girls break through rib cages every day, even that has undertones of, even, so-called average, not so average girls can break your heart, can get through that space, and get to you, whether you think so or not.
So do you, is it safe to consider that was this some self-reflection? Are you the not so average girl? Are you telling people that you're not?
It's both.
Or this is written just as a dedication to all those women out there who see themselves as not so average.
Right. I mean, everything I write is very personal. The word average even came from me being called that. I was never like the beautiful friend. I was always the home girl. I was always, oh, church is cool as hell. I was always the matchmaker. I got my guy friends with their, beautiful girlfriends. I was called cute. I was never called pretty or beautiful until I was like much older. So it was always like, oh, I know I'm not average in my head, but because you're being told it so much, you start to believe it. So that's, again, not so average girls, and letting people know that
break through rib cages. I mean, I like just the concept of being in a cage, like pretty much like of course, we're thinking of the rib cages you're talking about can grab their heart, and everything like that. But I just love the choice of words that you used to write that first line. Let's keep this going. Everybody at home that is joining us, I want to say thank you. Please, questions are welcome. Ask questions if you want to make a comment. Shout out to Sean Batter. Shout out to Taisha. Shout out to Effie. Shout out to Listra, who just joined us. Listra James. Dre to you. DREE to you. I see you. Who joined us on YouTube. She left a comment, say, love you, treasure.
Oh, love you
too. So shout out to everybody. Feel free to join the conversation. You said, oh, you thought your heart was safe. You put a little attitude in there. I can see you. You thought your heart was safe. Because you played a good game of eye energy and ill intention. So what is this game that we're talking about? Like,
okay. So I mean, we all have good friends, but we've all had good toxic friends, if that makes any sense. So I've watched a lot of my guy friends. I have the privilege of having some amazing guy friends who I've watched grow up, literally, mentally, and otherwise. And they used to spit a really good game, and because they were charismatic and cute and smiled, the underlying of, well, I just want you for one thing, the girls were ignoring, because, you know, this is somebody who's cute. He has the game. He can speak well. I'm going to ignore all the other red flags and just focus on this one thing. So that's really where that came from. The high energy is like, they're going to go at you at the highest capacity, but the intention is not there. The intention is always to, you know, do what they want with you, or have you for one thing and then, you know, disappear. So it's one of those type of things. So that's exactly where that line came from, because I watched it happen.
Interesting. And thought she wouldn't see right through it. You always talk about yourself in third person.
Excuse me. I mean,
I'm just wondering.
I mean, yeah. Every one of my poems has a personal tie to it. So yeah, everything is usually something I've been through, to be very honest with you.
Or is it talking to yourself in third person, or do you have multiple personalities? Because, you know, I've been interviewing a lot of poets, and I'm learning that, you know,
it's a couple different people in there. I mean, that very well may be true, but for me, it's only in my writing, and it's only in my poetry, because I think I'm very even keeled otherwise. But I'm also super passionate about like injustices, and trying to tell somebody they can't do something, because I am a little kid in that way. Like, you tell me I can't, and I will. So yeah, that's kind of partially where it comes from as well.
this next line, okay. It says the mind and the P have instant replay.
Mm-hmm.
The moments we had sex, you no longer had any say.
Mm-hmm.
Because sex and power do this thing, and it gets crazy when everybody in the rooms think that they have it.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to me. What?
Okay, so everything,
comparison,
that's the culmination of everything, because sex and power do this thing, and it gets crazy when everybody in the room thinks that they have it. So when you are dealing with someone sexually, platonically, or in a relationship, there is a power struggle when it comes to sex very oftentimes, because we like to assume that, you know, there's a more dominant role as being a male, the more submissive role as being a woman. But when we don't open our minds to other things, we get very boxed in. So when you get boxed in, you lose what you think you had, which is the power to you know, be in control over someone. When in all reality, the control lies within, you know, the individuals as they are separately, not together. So yeah, that's really where that comes from. The whole, you know, the mind and the P word have instant replay. That was just I know I'm gonna get them with this one. I know this is how a lot of people are probably gonna feel when I say like instant replay. Like, the mind remembers, and so does your body. You know what I mean? Like, everything is, you know, memory. So if your mind remembers, so does your body. So that's where that one came from.
Never forget. Never forget. It said because sex and power do its thing, and it gets crazy when everybody in the room think that they have it. Mm-hmm. It's so I love the comparison between sex and power, and you're saying these are two things that everybody think that they're having. They have both, and even when they don't,
right? So it's, you think you're in control of the entire situation when you're really not. You think you know, you have it all figured out, instead of just honestly saying, because it's okay to say you don't know. It's okay to say, you know, I don't know where I'm at with this person, but a lot of the times the ego gets in the way and you're embarrassed. So you don't want to say that. You want to say, oh no, I know exactly what I'm doing. Like, I'm a grown up, you know, instead of saying I'm confused. I don't know where I'm at. No one's telling me. You know what I mean?
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Because I mean, we're talking about people probably struggling with self-control. Mm-hmm. You know, pretty much, and I could really take that so many places right now. Mm-hmm. Like, you know, pretty much, because there's a big difference between having self-control and exhibiting freedom, as many claim in today's society.
Mm-hmm. And that's see, you already brought it into the next line, which is, you know, but we're out here calling section.
Okay, let's jump to the next line. I'm gonna let you rock. It says, but we're still out here calling sexually liberated women savage.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me about that.
So we just touched on that. The way you said you can take it into so many different directions with self-control or freedom. There are women that have like this genuine freedom and they're telling you, this is who I am. I'm okay with having, multiple partners because that's my business. I'm okay with being celibate because that's my business. Or I'm okay with being a monogamous type of person because that's my business. But because we're like, oh, well, I don't believe you. You got to prove that to me. We kind of fail. But we kind of condemn somebody that tells us what their truth is because we don't want to believe it. We don't want to believe that a woman can know who she is, especially if you're a closed-minded person. You don't want to believe that a woman telling you, oh, I have you and you and you and you. And I'm okay with that. And I'm not a whore and I'm not, overly, I don't have any trauma. This is what I want to do with my life. It's like, no, something must be wrong with you. You know what I mean? You have to be going through something to want to do that. But I don't believe that. I believe when people sometimes tell you who they are, believe them. Take it for what the mouth is telling you.
I'm trying to be careful here, right? Because again, that line, that verse strikes a chord, right? And also strikes a conversation.
Most definitely.
Whereby you start to, I found myself in numerous conversations dealing with this whole 2019, 2020 women out here is wilding and all of that stuff. Do you believe some of this liberation of the P per se, that some of these women feel like they're taking control is in challenge to their counterparts who've been doing that for decades? Is it like a power trip? It's like saying like men has always been not attached to what they do with their, pretty much, and celebrated for what they do. Meanwhile, women kind of get the opposite end of it. Is this kind of a claim of power and say, look, we can do this as women?
Right. And I think for some it's a claim, probably the majority, because from what I've seen and my biggest issue with it, and I was taught this by someone older than me when I was trying to be, I have it under control. It was like, you don't know enough to have it under control. You don't have the, experience enough to have it under control. So being 30 years old, I'm again speaking from the experience level of, back then I was 28 when I wrote the piece, but being 30 years old, I know that whatever I do with myself is with me. That was my choice. Like I tell people, I'm not going to speak about anything, or you're not going to condemn me for something that I did, sound, mind, and body. I wasn't drunk. I wasn't whatever. I did what I wanted to do. But a lot of women, especially these, younger women, it's a cry out. It is a rebellion.
Look at that logo. This is the cry out.
Right, it's a rebellious move, but sometimes it comes at the detriment of your mental health, because you can do it.
Ooh, talked about it.
But it's like you can do it, but are you doing it because this is what you want to do? Or are you doing it because this is the only way you're going to get back to all the boys that told you ugly, all the boys that told you you would never, nobody this for? If you're doing it for yourself, let's go. Let's have that conversation. But if you're doing it because some things have really triggered you and you have some issues, we can talk about that.
My
letting it out, putting it in the home.
One of my main concern is that, like, it's all mixed in, because there are some that, like, they take that route and they leave, like they find themselves in a place where they don't want to be.
Right. Exactly.
Yes. Like, pretty much, and pretty much they find themselves hurt through it. Because it doesn't save. I don't feel like that approach safeguards. I believe there are certain qualities that separates men from women. I don't believe, pretty much. And there's certain things, like, for example, if I punch this wall generally as a man, right? My reaction, and not to say that there's not women that would have the same reaction as a man, but 9 times out of 10, a man's reaction would be different than a woman because of certain physical abilities that I believe that God has blessed us with, and certain things that we, again, not condoning men's behavior in any way,
but it's like
shape,
a
or form.
testosterone versus estrogen conversation. Like, you were born different, you were built, different. And it comes with a lot of the conversations, a lot of the people that I advocate for. I have those conversations with and for them, for that reason, because I was them. I was that girl. I've been that girl 10 times over. So, and I've had to reconcile with myself and have conversations with myself and professionals. So that's why I tell people, like, it's okay. We can have every angle of the conversation as long as you're open to do so. And I think that's what this poem does, especially.
Let's get back into the lyrics. This is some good. Please, if you're watching and you want to put your 2 cents, you want to put a comment, please, questions are welcomed, comments are welcomed. This is a conversation between all of us. We're the only ones just on here right now, but definitely join in on the conversation. Type up your question, I will read it out. She said, "Ladies and gentlemen, we have stopped effing for space." I'm not even going to read any further. For space. What does space represent? To notice, being noticed. Like, I want to earn my spot here. Like, pretty much, I want you to know that I'm here. I'm among this people of power.
Right.
So is it trying to blend in or fit in, be accepted? Is it acceptance?
It's acceptance. It's if I'm gonna do this because you're gonna stay. I'm going to, sleep with you to get you to stay here, because I wanna take up space in your life. I want to take up some type of, peace in your living room, in your house. I want to be present.
Home is making my lips dry.
Too much. We do that, for the wrong reasons.
Wow.
And we think being physical is going to set that space up for us, and that's not really true,
But isn't sex empowering? Or could it be?
It depends on the reason you're having the sex. I mean, it's meant to be. It's meant to be a release. It's meant to be all of these things. But we'd be remiss if we were going to sit here and say that someone's having sex for all the right reasons all the time. Do you know what I mean? And hence, like, the power trip struggle.
So you're saying it's important to know the reason why you are.
Yes, because it's a transfer of energies. It's a transfer of energies. Anything physical is a transfer. A hug, an embrace, anything is a transfer of energy to energy. So if somebody is angry, or they came in angry, and then I'm gonna have sex with her because I'm mad and I need to release some stress. You're putting now all your aggression, all this anger into this person, and that could translate into how she feels about it, and then it becomes, again, this struggle of power and dominance and all this other thing. I didn't realize this poem.
Well, many people don't, and that's why we do this. Pretty much a lot of people don't understand how deep a lot of their work is. Pretty much, or sometimes we just never get the chance to actually discuss the work. And it's a lot that goes on in the mind of an artist, of a poet. There's a lot that we're thinking as we're writing, and we ourselves never even sit down to reflect it, because I believe that we personally will do better, even us. Like, our own posts can save our lives,
right?
Because as like pretty much whenever we are writing, we are channeling. Whenever we're creating, we're channeling God in a way,
I
right?
agree.
And the thing is, sometimes it's not our words. Like, we're put in a situation whereby we find ourselves writing about something, and we don't even realize the power of what we're putting down.
Right.
Until we sit down and actually reflect on it. I can tell you that I've had poems that completely transformed my lives, like my life, period. So let's get back to the lyrics. Let's get back to the lyrics. Man, we have to stop effing for space. That right there is a status, something you need to put quote somewhere. For a lot of people to stay. I mean, and the thing is, effing don't guarantee you no space.
No, no,
Don't guarantee you no space.
From the toxic behavior.
I'm gonna just tell everybody out there right now.
It does not.
It does not guarantee you, men, women, anybody watching right now. It does not guarantee you any type of space. Sex does not guarantee you any type of anybody's heart. Pretty much. So, so that's just in case you didn't know that.
Right.
Treasure is saying, be reminded.
Be reminded, please.
Filling gaps and holes with bodies. Woo! Filling gaps and holes with bodies that have already left the game. But that comes with the intention that we failed to mention, like be easy, but not too easy. Be a B, but only where it fits. Because niggas ain't okay. I'm gonna let you read this part. Okay, help me out here.
Okay,
help me out here. I'm trying to stay. I'm trying to.
I get you. I feel you. But just last week, we were trying to convince the world that we were actually royal. So I think the filling gaps and holes, especially what we just talked about with bodies that have already left the game, that's back to that sports reference of, trying to like spaces that you're not comfortable with, filling those insecurities with people who haven't even entered your space or who didn't even deserve to enter your space. And then the intention we failed to mention is the intention of being honest and being truthful. And you're treading lightly, like be easy but not too easy. So be available but not too available, or be aggressive but not, but only where you're supposed to be. And those, because niggas ain't shit, bitch ain't loyal. That's a very common thing that a lot of people say. But then this was around, I told you I wrote this right after Wakanda Forever, Black Panther came out. And it was like, we're trying to be these, royal beings that we are, that we're never gonna stop being those things. But people were like juxtaposing that with, Wakanda, Black Panther, resonated in me, and I'm gonna be more black and I'm gonna be less, promiscuous or less whatever. And it's like, it doesn't take a movie to make you do that. It doesn't take, it takes, work and believing in yourself.
The movie was obviously a great reminder that, pretty much of who we are. There's some people needed that reminder of the fact that we have, whether real or not, it was a reminder that we had great history, powerful history, and we are people of value, and stuff like that. So for some people, it was probably needed.
Right. I agree with that.
Man, let me see what I'm missing out on here. All right, so we good. Comments. Yo, everybody that's joining in the conversation, I see you guys coming in. Again, we are currently discussing Not So Average Girls by Treasure. How do you say your last name? Borde?
Borde, yeah, just like a board.
Okay, okay. I'll make sure I'm not jacking up. And pretty much it's a very it's a somewhat, it's a little bit graphic, but don't focus on that. Focus on the message that the artists have behind it. One of the things that I try to do on this show, I want the artists to be themselves. Pretty much, I believe God can definitely use anybody to speak. And let's just listen to the words and let's just get into the lyrics of the piece. So we're gonna go back into the lyrics. Jason Glasgow, I see you. Pastor Michael Westbrook, I see you joining us. Thank you. Give a heart, give a hello. So you're saying guys are messed up and women have their issues too.
Yes.
And last week we were trying to convince the world that we're royal. And it's okay to be royal and have issues.
Yes. And that's why, I wrote it there, because it's
but we need to carry ourselves
that way at all times. Not just when it's like, empowering to do so, when it's trending to do so. And I've been guilty of that as well, doing something for a little bit and then falling right back into ways that I wasn't proud of, or ways that I knew, weren't what I should be doing. And my own relationship with, sex at 28 years old. At that point I had an 8-year-old, so it's just like, my daughter's going to be 10 in September. So it's like, I had to really reconcile myself with a lot of issues I had, dealing with sexuality, dealing with, the guilt I carried, and the guilt that I didn't want to let go, because it served my purpose. It served my narrative at the time. Sometimes sitting in your negativity and sitting in your sadness serves a narrative. And it makes, it makes it easy for people to feel bad for you. It makes it easy for you to get over on people because, oh, I was this, or this happened to me. So it served my narrative at the time. So just in writing this was a very healing process.
So we need
this poem.
We pretty much to everybody out there, Treasure is telling us that we need to stop being walking contradictions. Like, if you believe yourself to be royal, then you need to carry yourself as kings and queens would. Pretty much you need to understand, like, every part of you is highly valued, from your heart to every part of you. So if we believe that we're royal, we definitely need to carry ourselves in such a way. And pretty much, and I come from a country where we still have a lot of kings, and kingship is something that's practiced. They're like mayors of little township and stuff like that. And I will tell you this from my experience: my uncle was actually a king in one of the villages, and the way that this man thinks about his clothing, how he appears publicly, how he carries himself publicly, is different than everybody else, because kings are believed to be chosen, right? By something beyond human, pretty much by God. God's chosen creations to lead, to reign, to make decisions when it comes to certain things. So if you are of royal blood and royal descent, you have to carry yourself differently. And that includes who has access to you, and who you allow to have access to you. That includes who you allow to get close to you. That includes who you share yourself with. See, we had a common place in a palace where everybody was allowed in. But there were hidden places in the palace that only certain people were allowed in. Take that as you want to take it, but I'm just kind of giving you a glimpse of what it means to be royal, pretty much. And there's just certain things that we do that you can claim that you're royal, but how you're carrying yourself doesn't bring you out as a royal individual.
Exactly.
Everybody else don't see royal when they look at you. and that's why they treat you the way they do.
Right. And that's why the body is
So
very
said, very interesting conversation piece.
But that's why the body is always related to a temple. It's a holy place. And we've been taught that since we were very young, you know, like, oh, protect your temple, protect your body, you know, take care of your body. And in the feature I did at the cave, one of the poems was called Renewal. You know, just because the temple is desecrated doesn't mean it can't be rebuilt. It doesn't mean that you can't be reborn into who you actually are. There is no, stopwatch on you and on who you are. So I think we need to just, always make that relevant and always make that known. Just because you mess up doesn't mean you can't get back up. So you can always do that.
So you tell them treasure. You tell them treasure. I mean, look at what's the name? Look at World Trade Center. You know what happened. Even the broken pieces of that building is still as valuable, if not more valuable, than the new building that's up.
Exactly. Just because of where it is. Just because of
what it represents. Oh man, this is good. This is good. This is good. Somebody said, "Preach."
Hey.
We definitely have some people out here. So we're gonna keep this moving. So I think I'm gonna let you read this. Go, just read it. It sounds better. They want to hear you read the rest of it.
Okay. All right.
I'm gonna put it up on the screen right now. Go ahead.
Got you. So I think it's why I ask myself, whatever happens to really good sex, the kind where your souls match and you don't question their truths or their lies. You just know that they treat you really, really good. This came from a very much self-awareness place for me. And understanding that the exchange of sex and of the energies, and I started researching a lot of my spirituality and a lot of like what I believe now. And it was just telling me that especially when it says you don't question their truths or their lies, it means you don't question what they're telling you. It means you believe in this person. You don't have to question if they're lying to you or telling you the truth. They know that you're giving you their genuine self through the process of being with you. And that's why I said you just know that they treat you really, really good. And it doesn't mean you're naive to, anything. It's just that that now you're based in something real and genuine. And with real and genuine comes really good sex. In my experience, in my brain, in my life, that's me. But again, when you hold yourself accountable for who you are and what you are, and you let a lot of things go, and you kill a lot of ugliness inside yourself, you can get that. You can receive, good things. You can receive a soul tie with someone. So yeah, that's where that one comes from.
Do you believe sex and our time has lost its value?
Yes. Most definitely. Because everything is sex sometimes. Everything is so overtly, sexualized. You can't be in a bathing suit online without having a thirst trap. And I hate that. You can't do certain things without it being, well, you know what you were trying to do when you posted that picture. So it's just like everything is kind of overly done. Because the few have to pay for the many, unfortunately.
And not to get preachy or anything.
No, go ahead.
What's the name? I just want to kind of, I guess, since you brought that up, to bring us back to and remind us the purpose and why sex itself was created. Right? On one side was childbearing purposes, right? Which about 95% of people having sex is trying to avoid.
Yes, most definitely.
On another end, it's to, like you mentioned, for two people to be able to discover the innermost parts of them, to form a deeper bond and connection with each other. And nowadays, you're saying that we've lost. Like the funny thing is, sex is not lost its purpose. The issue is, I believe, because of our current approach to it, we're forming these deeper connections with the wrong people.
Right. And with the wrong things for the wrong reasons.
For the wrong reasons.
For the wrong reasons. Like, it's paying right now. And we're seeing a lot of that. Like, it is paying lots and lots of money. So that is a great temptation. You know what I'm saying? It is a great equalizer and a great thing to make it make a great justification was the word I was looking for, to make it make sense and to make it something that shouldn't be as taboo as it probably should be sometimes. And I know a lot of people from a lot of different walks of life in a lot of different places. And I thank God for that, because I've had conversations where that opened my mind, that made me not so ignorant to a lot of things, but it also made me know that there are real people that are really affected by choices, especially through, sex and through bodies and things like that. So, yeah. And now that I'm realizing that poem really, like, this is why I wrote it.
But it feels, many people would tell you it feels so good. It's so, like, pretty much it's like, how do you, I guess it's coming back to actually only sharing it. It's coming back to the royal part, and making sure as royalty that you connect with other royalties, and who you share yourself with is in that line of royalties back home. People that are from your royal line only marry others from a royal line.
That's it. Mm-hmm.
They only allow in their vicinity those that are from a royal. So if you consider yourself royalty, it's understood. Yes, sex was made to be enjoyable, because by those two people that are definitely deeply connected.
Right.
So let's be mindful who we share ourselves with, because as I've learned early in my life, you're not just sharing yourself. You are, like, you're also keeping a part of them with you.
Mm-hmm.
You leave a piece of yourself everywhere, in every bed that you lay on.
Oh, yes, you do.
So let's keep on going. Let's keep on going. See, I don't break through rib cages anymore. That became a very tedious chore, because I put their pleasure before my own. They label me a whore. So I had to do some spiritual protection, but don't get it twisted. I still like really good sex. I just needed to be healing first. Since this was exactly your words, very personal, I felt very awkward reading that out loud.
Okay. Yes, this is where it gets very, very personal. This is where I tell my story. I do not hesitate to tell my story. Before I ever saw a therapist, my therapy was talking to girls and women that went through things just like me, whether that be rape, molestation, domestic violence, things of that nature. It was talking to people that related to me. And that included, sexual promiscuity. That included feeling like I had to do something with someone to keep them in my life or to get something from them. This is what I had to do. And because I wasn't a healing person, because I was still very much living in my trauma and sitting in it and using it, this is how I treated myself. And then when I became a healing person, I was less accessible. I was very mean. People told me, I became very, I didn't want to go certain places. I didn't want to do certain things. I didn't want to talk to certain people because that was from an old part of myself. So yeah, a lot of those lines are, super personal, super, you know, I love to please people. I still do to an extent. I will do anything for my family and friends within my limits. But at that point, I was like super accommodating to the point of forgetting myself. You know, going broke for other people because they needed me more than I needed myself. That's how I treated myself. So when you come to the realization of who you are and the amazing being that you are, you treat yourself different. You do different, you know. You
Now
talk
that's a
to
word.
different kind of people. You know, you associate with different kind of people, and you don't take certain things anymore. And when I stopped taking certain things, I lost a lot of friends. But Taking the Bangers has a great line that says, "When I lost, I gained back too." So every bad person I lost, every person that didn't need to be with me, I gained back double the positive. So that's what happened to me. So yeah, you know, people label me certain things because I was so accommodating and I was so, you know, desperate to be liked. I would do anything.
Come
But
on.
I changed, you know, I grew up. And you know, I say all the time, I tell people my daughter will look at anybody and say, I am beautiful. I am so amazing. Do you know how amazing I am? It's not because she's cocky or, you know, whatever. It's because this is what we do. We do affirmations in the morning. You know, we talk to ourselves in a positive way because you walk that way. If you speak to yourself the right way, the right way. And I'm a living testament. I didn't speak to myself so nicely all the time. Um, so I started speaking to myself better and demanding that other people speak to me better as well.
RJ Gordon says, "Speak truth" with an exclamation mark. I have a watch party going on Facebook on my personal page. People could definitely see it, and these are some of the comments that are coming in through there that I'm sharing. Please share comments, ask questions. I keep saying for those that are just joining us, feel free to ask questions. We're currently discussing a poem titled "Not So Average Girl" by Treasure Borde. You can actually find this. We're going to tell you where you can find it later on. So if you want to go, download the piece, now that you form a real good connection with the piece and the story behind it, it's really, really awesome, really, really powerful. By what I've witnessed so far. Again, it's a reminder of who you are. James Ellaby said, "You fell in love back with yourself. You gained yourself back."
Most definitely. Thank you, James. Most definitely. Yes. Yes.
And a lot of people talk about, we're in a time where people always talking about self-love, pretty much, I want to do this, show, spend more time with myself and stuff like that. And I'm like, the reason why there's so much talks of this thing, but there's not actual practice of it.
It's okay to be in a relationship and have time for yourself. It's okay to tell your significant other that I need time by myself. It's okay to, be by yourself. It's okay to be a mother and be like, I need space. It's okay to be, a daughter and understand that you need time away from, your parents if you live with them or whatever your situation is. Because if you can't take care of you, you are no good to anyone else. I learned that the hard way. I wasn't taking care of my body. I wasn't taking care of my mental. I wasn't taking everything. And I was not a good mother. I wasn't a positive enough parent to me. And I had to learn how to readjust and take time for myself. I'm not just a mother or a daughter or, a spouse. I am a person. I'm me first.
RJ said, "Sometimes the process to self-discovery involves the journey to be taken blindly. Thank you for your honesty." So let's get back into the lyrics. Cole and Taven said, "And it's never too late to start the process and treat yourself for yourself."
That's right, Tub. That's right.
Right. You could start right now. Maybe before you came onto this live, you didn't really realize your value, or you've forgotten your value, or you're doing things that doesn't reflect your value. I want to remind everybody that you are valuable to, if not to, you are valuable to me, number one. You're valuable to your creator, number two, and you're valuable to so many around you. I'm sure we can find people that loves you. Pretty much want the best for you. So we have to come back, but it requires us separating ourselves first, like you said, from some things and some people to realize our value, because sometimes we have people in our life that blocks that value. Because they're constantly telling you and reminding you what you're not good for, what you're not good at. They're constant reminder of all your mistakes, all your errors. And sometimes we need to just pause and give them a break and say, whoa, before we could come around to realize our value. And it's never an easy process if you're in a place that you feel that you need to do something like that. It's never an easy process, but it's a needed process. It's a needed process. It's something that find somewhere to start. James said there's a lot of wisdom in this piece.
Thank you.
And my daughter is acting up over there.
My
Jen, you good, baby? So when you get the privilege to have really good sex, I need you to be effing healing first, so you can look it in its face and say, no, thanks. That's power. Now that.
Oh man.
Now that is power.
My favorite line in this poem, because people don't ever know what direction this poem is going in, by the way. They've laughed with me, cried with me, been mad at me. And then, it culminates into this very positive, beautiful thing, which I've been on lately. Like, not just lately, but, when I renewed myself, I became that person. So it's okay to heal and still not want to do anything. It's okay to heal and really take your time to reintroduce yourself to somebody in a sexual way. And it's okay to say no. And that's what that comes from. And, it's okay to understand that I'm now in a place where I feel comfortable to have sex, but I'm not going to do it. I can be tempted. I can be compromised. I can be, in the space, in the middle of the decision, and still for myself say, no, thank you.
It's a show of strength.
Most definitely.
It's a show of strength. It shows that you are in control. Giving it up is not what shows that you're in control of you. Turning it down is what shows you're in control of you. So it's a show of strength. It's a show of power. It's a show that I am in control. So it's when people think that giving it up is showing that, oh, I'm in control of my feet and I could give it to whoever, pretty much. It's really not, because that's taking the easy way out. Because trust me, we all want to give it up.
Listen.
Like, it's easier. That's taking the easy way out and then claiming that easy way out to be a show of strength.
Or especially when you understand the reason you want to say yes is a very simplistic, carnal thing. It's not because, oh my God, I need to be doing this. I say it to my daughter all the time. It's something you need. It's something you want. It's not something you need. So It's like, you want it, you want to live in it, you want to bask in it, but then for how long are you going to live in it? Because I know for me personally, I can tell you, my story. I can admit to be doing things and afterwards being disgusted and being so unhappy. In the moment, it was all good and it was fun until it's time to go, or until you're by yourself with yourself. And then now the only person in that mirror is you. No one else is going to hold you accountable. No one else is talking to you, encouraging you. They're going to encourage you in the moment, but then afterwards, it's not going to be any conversation about who you are. Right. It's not going to be, they want to get to know you, especially when, you're doing it for these very carnal, selfish reasons. So it's like you have to adjust and really understand who you are in those moments to be able to say, no, thank you.
So, woo! James said that is very destructive behavior. Um, and he was referring to what you said in the past, about the
Oh yeah.
whole. Okay, just want to make that clear to everybody.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, this piece is it talks about finding self, value of self. Um, it's a reminder that we are of royal descent. We're royal people. Wakanda forever. All of that stuff. Um, pretty much, it's telling us we need to carry ourselves in that light as we are of royal people. That we need to definitely carry ourselves as such. And that starts from your thinking. Excuse my lack of head. That that starts from your thinking because you have to think royal before you can carry yourself in a royal manner, right? Um, a lot of people, tell me, pretty much, think that Godsent is great, right? Pretty much. I'm gonna keep it real. I've had conversations with people with, and I'm not gonna think, thank Jesus, Lord, I am in Jesus' name. Um, but I think that's also comes from how I've always presented myself. I've always carried myself because in my thinking and the way I'm already thinking of where I want to be, who I want to be, and how that person is and carry themselves. So when we talk about royalty and stuff like that, it starts from up here. You got to come around to value yourself and reminding yourself how valuable you are before you can carry yourself in such manner.
I
Woo,
think
shit, you
the
got
most
me. You got me.
I learned from you, and not just in being around other, visionaries, is visionaries are intimidating. People with a vision can be so intimidating to someone who doesn't know what their vision is. It's like church for the first time and hearing a sermon and you've never been to church. And we all know when you haven't been to church in a long time, no matter what the sermon is, that person is talking to you. That sermon is gonna fit what you're going through, because you don't have that relationship with God or whatever your higher power may be. You're not accustomed to the realizations and the responsibility. A lot of visionaries have great responsibility, and the people that don't have vision don't want to carry it. They're gonna call you cocky. They're gonna say, God sent. Oh, I don't, because they don't understand it. They don't understand that responsibility that comes with that and how you carry yourself, because you falter just like everyone else, but it's the way you get back up. It's the way I've watched you
Come on.
get back up.
Come
you
on.
understand? So it's like you sit here and you want to, we don't proselytize because, oh, this is what we are. This is testimony. You're taking, your traumas and you're turning it into a testimony. And it's okay. Like, it's okay. We can all be who we are and be accepting of each other. But you have to be open.
So I'm gonna tell you right now, if you're not royalty, stay out my lane, okay? Don't come near me. I'm just letting you know I'm only hanging with the royals. I'm only hanging with the royals, and stuff like that. This has been really good. This has been really amazing. This poem is titled "Not So Average Girls." This is written, but it's amazing that because even with the title, it speaks to everybody, not just women. It's speaking from a woman's point of view, and stuff like that. Hey, Felicia, you're in the building. That's there with our features coming up this coming Wednesday. What did I just do?
I don't know.
Okay, the screen just went. All right. Oh, I closed it. I closed the word, Microsoft
The
Word.
words.
But this has been. I would just want to, before we start wrapping things up, thank you guys for sticking with us. what if there was one thing that you could leave with the listeners, some that might just be checking in right now, some that watch this after we get off live and stuff like that. If there's one thing that we would love to leave them with, right, in this poem, what is that? What would that be? It could be a line, it could be your final statement, whatever it is that you want to share right now out of your heart.
You are exactly who you are designed to be. And that's it. You are exactly who you are designed to be. No one can take that away from you. No one can change that. You are exactly who you are designed to be. You just add to the design. You just add to the design. You are exactly who you are designed to be. And no one can take that away from you. No one. So, yeah. And if you guys want to listen to the poem, it is on Spotify on the album titled Voices of New York. The poem is called Not So Average Girls, but I implore you to listen to all of the poems on that album. But that's where you can find the poem if you want to listen to it. Again, Voices of New York on iTunes and Spotify. The poem is titled Not So Average Girls.
You are exactly who you are designed to be. Mm-hmm. In other words, there is absolutely no mistakes, no errors. Everything is where it is meant to be. Mm-hmm. It's about what you do with you that makes a difference. It's about what you do with you. You are filled with purpose. Even if man did not plan you, you were planned by someone beyond man. Mm-hmm. You are exactly who you're supposed to be. It's what you do with you that makes a big difference. That is the word from Treasure. Princess said, amazing.
Hey, darling.
The poem and conversation was so enlightening, pretty much. Man, where do we go from here? Let's. I know you shared your social media earlier on. We're getting ready to wrap this show up. We're getting this is my only guest today. I'm really going back and forth. You guys can tell me. We've been doing 2 guests per show. Sometimes I feel like that maybe we need to cut back and have 1 guest per show. But you guys tell me how you feel for those that's been checked into the previous shows and now this show. Just tell me if it feels good to be able to zone in on one, or it feels nice to be able to still have that diversity. Pretty much. But before I go on to that, please share your social media with us. How do we connect with you, Miss Treasure?
So Instagram is AyoTrey, AYE_YO_TREY. That is Instagram. Facebook is Treasure Borde, TREASURE, last name BORDE. I have a lot of projects coming up, not only for myself, but also for my business, Trey's Golden Confections. I also sing. So look out for that, by the way. So yeah, that's it.
All right.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you, Bordell. Thank you, Cryo.
And tell them, for those that don't know, tell them a little bit more about Trey's Golden Confections.
Okay, Trey's Golden Confections is a vegan donut business that I started. It's gonna be 2 years old this September. It started out of my parents being diabetic, and I wasn't really comfortable with the desserts they were eating, so I decided to make it myself. Donuts, because it's super creative, it's super different. Not everyone is doing them. But we do have a big rebrand coming up for Trey's Golden Confections in the next 2 weeks. I'm still going to be catering to my vegan clientele, but we have some great things coming up for our non-vegan clientele as well.
Okay, that's really dope. And y'all know, if y'all know me, y'all know I'm a big fan of people starting their own businesses. Whether as an extra source of income or as your main income. In addition, I also want to say thank you to Treasure because she is an essential worker, right? And throughout COVID-19, pretty much she you work. I don't know if you shared this earlier. I missed some of the show, but she works as a banker. So you need a new account. So thank you for those that are going out there. We still need to get our money in the ATMs and all that stuff. So thank you because you're one of the numerous heroes that is definitely keeping things steady and not so weird for us in this time and period and everything like that. Amira says, "Hey, beautiful." I'm pretty sure she's not talking to me. So thank you, Treasure, for again for everything that you are meant to be, that you are.
Thank you.
You like that, huh?
Yep, we're gonna put that on the shirt.
That is dope. That is dope. That is definitely status, and it's good to be reminded that. All right. Again, for those that are tuning in and those that's been with us, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm wrapping up the show right now. For those that may not know me, my name is Godsent. You can connect with me at Real Godsent. I love the comments.
Princess.
I love it. I love the love. So, this is why, Sister Amira, I love, yeah. Oh, that's my wife yelling at Jen to leave something alone. This is why me and Sister Amira be fighting. She give you a whole A beautiful, and then when it came down to me, she put A Maiwa Okubanjo.
Look, that's my poetry mom. That's why. Sorry.
Like, I don't get no type of love right now. No type of love. It's cool. I'm all right. But again, this is Into the Lyrics. We have this show every Monday. This week only Monday and Wednesday, because this coming Friday I'll be part of another show that I'm going to be sharing the flyer with you guys. Mm-hmm. She said, "I can't hear you, but I really love Treasure." I don't know. Is that you being funny? All right, be like that. Definitely do me a favor. If you're not following me on Instagram, connect with me. Follow me at Real Godsent. I have a question that's in my stories right now that says, "How does poetry make you feel?" I want to hear more from you guys. Please let us know how listening to this and being able to break this down make you feel. If it adds anything to your life, poetry has always been my release to save my life. So, pretty much we want to know that as we're out here sharing our projects with you guys, that we definitely are doing something. We're changing lives, because as poets, pretty much, at least for me, that's what we desire to do, to not just save lives, but to do it in an entertaining manner, and stuff like that. And you can also follow Treasure. She talked about Ayo Trey. We talked about it. And one of the other things I always ask for, please support as artists. We need your continued support. This is a tough time for us artists. Pretty much they're talking about reopening. I want everybody to understand that anything that's dealing with social gathering is in the final phase of reopening. So if they start reopening things by June 5, we may not be able to get back and do what we do until July, because everything that we do is related with social gathering. So please continue to support. Treasure's Cash App is in front of you. $ Treasure Borde. Definitely support. If you've been blessed by what we shared with you, if you want to share something with me as well and bless me with something, Real Godsent $ is in front of you as well. Again, thank you for tuning into the Lyrics. The next show is coming this Wednesday. I will be having on my show Felines and Mr. James Ellaby. So I'm very excited about that. James Ellaby has been one of the consistent supporters throughout this whole show. He's been supportive to other artists, and that's not just online. Some people only support online. James show up to everybody's show. Show some love, and he's one of the dopest poets in our community. So please, I hope you guys are able to come back and join us. Really love you guys. Thank you, Treasure, for coming, for sharing your work with us. Truly, truly appreciate you. Until next time, this is Lyrics, and y'all have a good one.